So we're at the Winnipeg airport. We're flying to Toronto today, and because I'm disabled, I have to have a wheelchair and someone to push it for me. I can't walk the kind of distances that, the kind of distance that is required in an airport. So I'm sitting down here with all of the luggage while Fahim goes to the airline, which is at the opposite end of the check-in counters, because that's where he has to go in order to get someone who can deal with the wheelchair for me. It sucks that things are not more organized, that there's not a better system in place. I mean, if I could walk that far, yeah, fine, but I can't, so instead, and the thing is, we went through the same thing when we flew out of Dubai in the United Arab Emirates, where I had to sit and wait somewhere while Fahim went and got someone to get the wheelchair for me. This seems to be a fairly standard practice from what I can tell. Anyway, I sit, I wait. So it didn't take long. I wasn't waiting long where I was sitting before we checked in. Fahim got someone to come and help. It was actually one of the check-in agents who came with a wheelchair and wheeled us through, got our luggage dealt with. And she wasn't the person responsible for pushing the wheelchair around. She just came over anyway, and then got someone else whose job it is to wheel people around. We got through security, and now we're waiting at the gate, and all told that was 15 minutes, maybe, not very long at all. So now we're waiting, and just as a public service announcement, if you need a wheelchair, if it would make your life easier in an airport, if you have mobility issues, use it, really. Hi. So I wanted to update you on what happened at the airport in Toronto after we landed. So normally we wait until most passengers have deplaned, as to be expected. This time we waited until all the passengers were gone, and there was myself and 3 other people who needed wheelchairs. Well, it wasn't until about 15 or 20 minutes after that the wheelchairs finally came. It was...
Well, we got 2 wheelchairs as the other passengers were deplaning, and 2 people took those wheelchairs, but then the last people, us and another lady, had to wait for 20 minutes before the wheelchairs, finally arrived for us.
Yeah, and then it was a bit of a disorganized mess. And I am in no way blaming the people who pushed the wheelchairs. They were clearly overworked and far busier than they should have had to handle.
Yeah, they had one person to handle all the wheelchairs from the plane up to the, up the gantry or the walkway up to the entrance. Then they hand them over to a vehicle which takes people, but then 5 people got into the vehicle and we didn't have enough space, so we had to wait. And the vehicle guy would not return back because he said he's going to go his full circuit and come back whenever he can. So the guy who had pushed all the people up there all this time pushed lorry all the way up to the next point where the vehicle would have taken us, and it turned out to be like 20-30 yards. And that's it. But apparently the other people were taken by the vehicle. And the people who were taken by vehicle didn't have wheelchairs. So when we arrived, they were sitting there waiting for another wheelchair because, they didn't have any wheelchairs to be put onto once they arrived at the other place.
Finally, I'm pushed all the way to... what do you call it? The luggage carousel.
Yeah, but even there was only one person at the other end handling 4 people. So the poor man had to go find wheelchairs because the others didn't have wheelchairs. Laurie had a wheelchair. So then he brings back one wheelchair, but then there are two other people who need wheelchairs, and he had to push two people with two hands, because I had luggage in my I was bringing our luggage, so I didn't have a way to push lorry. So he had to push two people into the elevator, get in with me, bring us down, and then downstairs there was only one person again to deal with everything.
So by the time we made it to the luggage carousel, it was fully an hour after the plane had landed, probably a bit more than that. The luggage carousel was off, of course. No other people were there because they'd all collected their luggage and been gone already. Only our suitcases remained at the luggage carousel. Thankfully, no one walked off with them. So, it's a bit of a mess.
It seems to be mostly an issue of organization, because they don't seem to know how many people need wheelchairs. And even if they did know, they don't seem to have enough staff there to handle it. So the poor staff are doing as much as they can. They are doing the best they can with, under the situation. They all were very helpful. They were very kind. And, even though we were saying, we are really sorry that you have to undergo this, they're like, no, this is a part of our job, and so on.
Yeah.
But, given that, Toronto Pearson is a big airport,
it should be better.
Yeah, they should have more people on staff, and they should at least be, maybe telling all the people who need wheelchair support and figuring out how many people need to be there. Other places we've had, of course, our biggest experience probably was in Dubai. But there they had people ready to take everybody, and generally they have 6, 7, 8 wheelchairs.
Or more, sometimes
and
more.
They have all these people who will come in with the wheelchairs, put the people in, push them, done. And when you come, there's all these people waiting with the wheelchairs, bring you in and push you up. It was all, as, Kerry Godliman would say, bing, bang, bosh.
Yeah. So again, none of this is the fault of the people pushing the wheelchairs. Yeah. They're clearly short-staffed. It shouldn't be like that. Having said that, I think I've taken a wheelchair 3 times now. Well, three different trips. And in every single case, the people doing the work of organizing the wheelchair, that we encountered, that were pushing the wheelchairs, getting the wheelchairs for us, taking us wherever we needed to go, every single one of them was kind and polite. They're great. Anyway, if you need a wheelchair, take the wheelchair.
Even with all the troubles, it's probably very well worth it, because otherwise your legs would be screaming by the time.
Well, I wouldn't be able to walk that far anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the point is, take the wheelchair.